Hi, welcome to the ADORNit studio. I'm Georgana Hall, and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint our wood barn stars. They are a new product cut on a 1/4 inch birch plywood, and what's so unique about these barn stars is that the designs are already etched into the wood, and so you don't have to do any tracing. It's already done for you. We have a variety of sizes and a variety of shapes. We have the star puzzle, the square and star, the Martha Washington star, the Army star, the Missouri star, the Christmas star, and the flying geese. They're available in a 10 inch, a 12 inch, a 14 inch, and an 18 inch. So lots of different varieties and sizes for you to choose the one that's going to fit for what you want to do. These are great for home decor. They are great for gift giving. I think it'd be so fun to piece together a quilt and be able to have this wood piece next to it on maybe a dresser or up on the wall. I mean, the different uses are so fun and so vast. Another thing is it's really popular to hang the barn stars outside on maybe an exterior wall. And so if you're going to do that, you can definitely do that with these stars. I would probably choose an exterior paint and make sure that you're putting a really good exterior varnish on your wood to protect it if it's going to be out in the elements, or maybe just put it under a covered porch. Let's get started. Today I am painting a star. It's the Missouri star, and I am doing it for indoor use. So I am going to use an acrylic paint. There's so many different paints out on the market, but what I have found works the best is actually a chalk paint. And so the brand that I'm using today is ADORNit, and this is a brand of theirs. It's the Chalky Finish. That's an 8 flowing ounce chalky finish paint, but you can also get it in the ADORNit brand in the smaller 2 ounce. And so I really like this as well because it's a little bit easier to use. It has that flip top. They have a variety of colors that you can choose from. It's a really great product to use. The other product that's by ADORNit that I have found I really like too, that has a really thick finish so you don't have to do very many coats, is this premium medium body acrylic paint. It's really thick texture, and so this one is also one of my favorites to use. So I am using that one today as well. The other thing you're going to need is a clear varnish to protect the paint. And so this Americana, it's the DuraClear matte varnish. I really like this one. It has really sealed the paint well from different ones that I've tried. So this is a top favorite of mine. And then you're also going to need a stain. A color stain and a water-soluble stain is the best. This is again a ADORNit color stain, and they come in a variety of different colors. There's black and brown, gray, all sorts of different colors that you can choose from for your different projects. So those are what you're going to need for your paints. And then you're also going to probably want some sandpaper, some different paint brushes. It depends on which size of barn star you're using for your different paintbrushes that you want. Today I am doing the 10 inch star, and so I am actually going to be using our ADORNit water brush. I absolutely love this flat water brush. It is really easy to use the acrylic paints and it washes up beautifully. So that is a really good one. The other tip that I'm going to use is this trusty old brush that you can see has been used a lot, and it's probably about a 3/4 inch brush right there that I'm going to be using. So you're going to want to gather those. A sponge brush would work great too, so you can use a sponge brush if that's what you have in your painting supplies. So before you apply the paint, you're going to want to get your sandpaper, and you're going to want to sand the edges where the engraving has taken place. So I am actually going to fold my sandpaper, and it allows you to kind of get down into those grooves and be able to get all those edges where those designs have been engraved. So you can kind of go around and do that until you're happy with the result before you start painting. Okay, so now we're going to apply the paint. And so what I have found to be the best as you're working with your acrylic paint is to take your paintbrush and apply it along the grain of the wood. And also, you can see here how I'm pointing the paintbrush towards where it has been engraved out. That allows me to keep my edges straight. And I also like to turn my board as I'm going and trying to paint that. So you can see how I'm going around each corner and keeping my paintbrush toward the edge to keep everything straight, and from keeping it from me getting the paint onto the other areas where I don't want that colored blue. So you're going to keep painting each of the different sections the desired colors. And so what's fun about this is you can add whatever colors you want to match your different projects. It's kind of like piecing together a quilt, except for this time you're doing it on wood. Make sure you pay attention to your highlights and your contrasts so that you're really pleased with your results. Okay, so I'm finished painting. You can see right here how I've put my golden and my navy, and I've added some gray, and then of course the pop of white in the center to really add a fun contrasting color into there. And so now what we need to do is we need to seal the paint that we have applied to the wood. And so we're going to use this Duraclear matte varnish, and I am going to use a wide brush because I'm going to be getting large areas. And I'm actually just going to pour this onto my wood surface. And it allows me to kind of move my brush around and clear that out. You're going to want to make sure you're going with the grain of the wood, and you want to make sure that you get every edge sealed, because this is going to seal that paint onto your project. If it drips a little bit, that's okay. Just go ahead and clean up those edges. It's not a big deal. Now that you're done adding the varnish to seal the paint onto your wood, we're going to go ahead and add that color stain that I mentioned earlier. And again, remember, the reason why we want to use a stain is because these ADORNit wood boards have that engraved design onto each of them, which makes them really unique and fun. You can see here some of the other designs of how they've been etched into that wood. So each of the different designs that I mentioned at the beginning of this video are engraved onto the wood. So I have made sure all my surfaces sealed and along the sides and on the top, and made sure now that it's dry. So I can add this water-soluble stain. And again, this is a Deco Art that I'm using, but there's so many different ones out on the market that you can use. Okay, so I'm going to take this wide brush, and I'm going to need a rag. This is one that I have put a little bit of water on. And so I'm going to even add a little bit of water in with my stain, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to vigorously rub that down into those recessed areas. And you want to work quite quickly because you don't want it to dry too fast. And that's why I said you can add a little bit of water to make that stain go a little bit farther. You just rub it right down in there. And you kind of think, what is she doing? She's adding this black stain all over that beautiful painted surface that she just spent time on. But what I'll show you here in just a second, I'm going to only do half of it, is how it works out. And again, you can add that water to help it go a little bit farther. Okay, so I've got it how I think I want it. And now I'm going to take my wet rag and I'm going to wipe off the surface. And you can see how that black color stain is just going to stay in those groove areas, and it really kind of finishes your product and gives it that final touch that you want. You could also use a baby wipe to help clean up the surface. That works really well too as a tip. But you can see here now, since I've done half, how that is my half without the stain, and that's my other half with the stain. And you can see how that just gives such a fun finishing touch. And as I mentioned earlier, there's different colors of stain. So on this stain, I used a gray one on this board. So you can see how you can choose the different colors of stains to put down in those grooves. And it's just going to add such a fun touch and technique onto all your different projects. Those are our ADORNit Wood Barn Stars. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today and learning about how to paint these fun stars that you can add as accents in your home or on the outside of your home as well. Thanks. Bye.